I mean, this is just the field, and they do a great job with the flowers. It'll start blooming soon. It bloomed early. That's the lace house right there.
Okay.
And that's the one that's rented out, and it's beautiful downstairs.
Outside the governor's mansion, pointing out how her two children spend their free time, Governor Nikki takes us on a tour of the grounds.
There's a little putting green out
Yeah,
there.
Governor Edwards was the one that put that putting green out there.
Inside the governor's mansion, photos on display capture the tender moments. And while juggling the role as governor, wife, and mother, Haley says she puts her family first.
We are sitting down as a family having dinner 4 out of every 7 nights a week. I get the kids off to school with their breakfast and out the door every morning like every other mom does, and we have Haley family fun nights. There's one night where they pick what we eat and what we watch, or whether we go bowling or anything else.
A very different place than where Haley spent her childhood. She grew up in the southern town of Bamberg, South Carolina, being the only Indian family who lived there. In her biography, Can't is Not an Option, she talks about overcoming racial barriers.
You will hear me talk in the book about being a child that was disqualified in a pageant because they didn't know if I was black or white. Or while you're here, you'll hear that my father and I went to a produce stand and police officers rode up because he wore a turban and they didn't know if we were going to do something.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present the Honorable Nikki Randhawa Haley, Governor.
Since taking office, unemployment is slowly trickling down, and Haley says jobs and the economy are growing.
$5 billion worth of investments in South Carolina just last year, over 22,000 jobs. We now build things in South Carolina. We build planes, we build cars, we build tires. We passed tort reform. We were the only state in the Southeast that didn't have caps on frivolous lawsuits. We passed Medicaid reform. We've passed illegal immigration reform, voter ID.
And it's what she calls her biggest accomplishment in office is what she's most proud of.
Getting legislators to vote on the record. You know, if you ask them, they don't think that's a big deal. For me, it's a very big deal, because if we can't show our citizens how their legislators are voting, we can't hold them accountable. We can't see if they're representing us properly.
Ready to show what she calls a new South Carolina, Haley hit the national spotlight appearing on ABC's The View.
Joy Behar on one side and Elizabeth Hasselbeck on the other, both talking at the same time, and Barbara trying to keep the peace. So, but it was a great show.
But Haley's popularity doesn't come without scrutiny.
When you get to the top, people try and tear you down. It is part of it, but it's still worth the fight.
Facing claims she's been indicted by the IRS, Haley says the lies and false accusations only hurt South Carolina.
What company wants to come to a state where they think the governor's getting indicted? What are people saying when I'm sitting here on calls, economic development calls, and this is the issue? And contacting the IRS is not something that happens quickly. This goes, not only do the state media pick it up, the national media picks it up, and there was not 1 ounce of truth to it. And when we got the IRS letter, it says not only is she not being audited, there's no reason for an examination.
After the sacrifices and challenges, it's why Haley says her only focus is on being the governor.
The people of South Carolina took a chance on me. I owe it to them to finish my job. I owe it to them to prove to them that they made the right decision.